Good morning. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us as we continue our exploration this month of embracing possibility. If you are a newcomer this morning, we'd like to extend a very special welcome to you. We're very happy that you chose to join us this morning on this beautiful day. If you would like to know what's going on at the fellowship 7 days a week, please give us your email address. If you are here at the fellowship, you can fill out the blue welcome card, leave it on your chair, or give it to a greeter. If you're online, go to the link in the chat to fill out our welcome card. Current members can use the welcome card to update their information as well. We hope you'll stay for coffee and conversation after the service so we can get to know each other, or stay online to chat on Zoom. Since we are here in a time of ministry and covenant, we are asking that we hold all applause until the end of the service. Jazz hands will work if you feel so moved. We will be sure to thank everyone for their contributions at the end of the service. So this month is our Generosity Month, and we are featuring various members of the fellowship to talk about their experience with the fellowship. So today, I'm going to invite Steve Pittman to share his history with the fellowship. And I know he's very generous with his friend hugs and his encouragement on the bocce court, so he's a good guy to do this. Come on up, Steve.
Good morning. I'm going to move that up a little bit. Can everybody still hear me? Okay. Situated here. Our gifts equal possibilities. Such a simple but powerful equation. As I was asked to do this, I thought about that and then thought, well, what can I say? So let's find out, shall we? In the past 2 Sundays in this slot, we've been blessed with 2 powerful and moving testimonials. 2 weeks ago, Jess shared with us her journey at Cuff from being a back row, out the door attendee to now being a highly engaged and vital leader in Cuff. As she described some of the experiences and relationships that create her transformation, my heart was filled with joy at the possibilities I heard and felt for my future here at Cuff. And then last Sunday, Kathleen led us in a tour of the variety of ways and programs Cuff members are making a positive difference here at the fellowship and in the broader community. As a relatively new member of Cuff, I have neither the years of connections and relationships that Jess described, nor do I have the breadth and depth of work and participation that Kathleen described. But I want these things. And though it's been less than a year, I have had a taste and a glimpse of the possibilities being a member of the Cuff community can bring. I can see some exciting possibilities for the future, illuminated by the accomplishments and positive change Jess and Kathleen shared in their testimonials. When I was asked last month to share my testimonial about pledging, one of my first thoughts was, I've been involved with pledging for more than years than I've been alive. How did that happen, you may ask? Well, I was born in August of 1951, and in June of that year, my dad had graduated seminary and became an ordained minister in the Methodist Church and was assigned to his first church in Flat Rock, Illinois. Now, I was born two months later, and I'll let you all make of that what you choose. But from that point on, throughout my childhood, our family's livelihood was based on pledges. As we moved from Flat Rock to Anna to Granite City to Pinckneyville, our possibilities depended on the congregation's gifts. In high school, I decided that I'd been called to follow in my dad's footsteps and become a minister. I even went through the process of becoming a lay minister. So in 1969, I left home for college, where I was exposed to many new experiences: anti-war protests, Kent State, meeting and becoming friends with a variety of people that I'd never associated with before, including having more than one black friend, and classes in comparative religion and black history. Gradually, over a couple of years, I realized that my path was not to be a minister. Instead, it was to be an organizer. My religion, identity, and mission became work for social, economic, and racial justice. So fast forward about 50 years or so, and I found myself back in Southern Illinois, retired, surprisingly, though at the time it felt more like just being unemployed again. I was adrift, without my work, which had been for my adult life, my identity and my purpose. I struggled to discover my purpose, my mission in this new chapter of my life, who I was supposed to be, and I yearned for connection and for a community. For a variety of reasons, the church and faith I grew up in was no longer mine. With the experiences I'd had along the way, the disconnect between what I was taught and what the institution stood for and its actions, particularly in matters of race, LGBTQ issues, and class and power. This was no longer my church, my religion. As I was struggling to find my identity, I realized I wanted a spiritual home. As I looked for that home, a friend suggested that I check out CUF. Now, I didn't know a whole lot about Unitarianism. I had a passing understanding from some friends in college and members here who were strong supporters of the work that I was doing at the time. Some of you may remember Jackie Miro Hayward, Ed and Lillian Adams. And ironically, back in the 80s, one Sunday I was a guest speaker at CUF, I think invited by Jack, to talk about the work I was doing with Illinois South Project on coal mining and its impacts. So even though I didn't know much about Unitarianism, it wasn't an entirely new thing for me. And I thought, it's worth a try. Let's see what we can find out. So I started coming to Sunday services and reading the new to CUF literature. Phrases like bring your authentic self, the core values we have here, the existence of a social action team, an emphasis on becoming a welcoming congregation, and the recognition of many faiths and personal experiences all drew me in. Clincher for me was a community based on covenant, not creed. As I was being drawn in, looking at the name tags on the rack one Sunday when I got mine, I realized I knew a whole lot more people here than I knew. Folks I liked and respected. And as I was greeted each Sunday morning as I entered the building and approached and welcomed during the social time after services, I remember thinking, I might have found my home. These might be my people. When Reverend Sarah invited me to join the starting point sessions, I gladly accepted. Going through that process and sharing with the folks that were going through it with me, it was a fairly sizable and stellar group, I think. really made me feel that I truly had found where I belonged. So when it came to time for me to become an enrolled member, sign the book, and fill out my first pledge card, I did so gladly. Joining a covenant group has not only increased my commitment to CUF and our work together, but also brought new understanding and insight on my quest to find and share my authentic self. Sometime in the last few weeks, I saw a Facebook post. I'm not sure if it was from CUF or from the Unitarian in general. And as I was preparing my remarks, I looked for it, couldn't find it. So you're just going to have to accept my version of what I thought it said. To paraphrase, it was something to the effect of, as Unitarians, we're less concerned with making it to heaven than making heaven here in our community. This week has been especially hard for me for reasons I won't go into here, but some of you can probably guess. Last night's gratitude dinner was a marvelous experience. As I came through the door, Miriam caught me and said, "I haven't seen your pledge form yet." Now, it didn't help me very much that the fact that I had already filled it out. It had been sitting on my dining room table for a week or two, and I had picked it up as I left the house, but left it on the dashboard of my truck. She graciously suggested that there were forms here that I could fill out. And she had a pen for me, so not wanting to spoil any of the tables, I went into the office, to the counter, filled out my form, and gladly and with joy put it in the box. Just being here last night with this community greatly lightened the burden that I shared, or that I was carrying, even though I only had one conversation about what it was. So the work that we do together is righteous work in any time, but particularly in these times. So I hope that you too can see and dream of the possibilities we can create with our gifts. And I hope you will share your gifts with generosity and purpose. It has been said that we make the road by walking it. So let's continue this walk for justice with fierceness of purpose and generosity of gifts as a fellowship of open minds, open hearts, all ages, all colors, all genders, all abilities, all kinds of wealth, all kinds of love together. Don't know if I stayed within 5 minutes or not, but what can I say? My dad was a preacher, my mom was a teacher, and so you're lucky you got off.
Thank you, Steve. It's now time for announcements before the service starts. If you want to submit an announcement to be read, please feel free. Thank you so much. So write it on a slip of paper there in a basket in the back row. Feel free to bring it up or to raise your hand. Oh, thank you. Raise your hand if you have a written announcement ready to collect. Now it's too loud. Okay. You may also raise your hand if you need us to come to you for an announcement. If you're on Zoom, please put your announcement in the chat box at this time. There are always announcements on the back of your printed order of service, and we try not to repeat those verbally in the interest of time. The same announcements are in the email that go out every Sunday morning, and more that don't fit on the printed sheets. So the Sunday service team wants to let everyone know that our services are recorded on Zoom, paused for sorrows and joys, and then uploaded to the Cuff YouTube channel. With the current political climate, we want everyone to be aware of this. Do we have any announcements on Zoom? Okay. If not, I will go ahead and read these announcements. First of all, there's an announcement that we had a great party last night, which apparently we did. I feel really upset about missing it. The cleanup crew did a great job. The last task is for someone to take out the kitchen trash. Would someone please take care of that? So it's an announcement and a request. All right, another announcement, and then Glenn, if you want to come on up, I'll let you give yours. The No Kings Day rally next week, No Kings number 3, March 28th, this coming Saturday at Turley Park in Carbondale, noon to 12 p.m. For more contact information, please contact MJ Smirkin. And all right, where'd you go?
I just wanted to sit in that chair.
All right, well, okay.
Wow, it feels great up here. I got to say, you guys look really great this morning. Well, good-looking group. Of course, I did just have eye surgery, so I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but I'm sure you look great. Okay, so I want to inspire everybody for Earth Day. You can really do something great for Earth Day. You can come here on Saturday. What is the date?
April 18th.
April 18th at 10 a.m. to about noon. What we're trying to do, so if you look out there, you'll see a dead tree, like a tree that was alive. It was blooming white, and it was so beautiful. Why did we cut that down? Yeah, and it's actually progress. So that was a Bradford pear. You know, they have kind of a bad reputation, right? You know, they escape into nature. Birds spread the seeds everywhere. They turn into very thorny thickets, and they don't allow our native vegetation, which provides food and habitat, shelter for our native species, from insects to birds to other animals. So it really is something we needed to cut down, and you know, I think we need help with the grounds, but it's going to be beyond that, because we're also going to begin a conversation, a vision for our grounds and what it can be. And I'm going to be leading design charrettes so that we take all of our collective minds and put it into what this place can be over time. Because we have a beautiful site that's kind of a blank slate, really. And I think it can be so much more with all of our efforts. So that will begin Earth Day this year, and we'll clean that up. We'll do some other stuff to around here to begin, mainly pruning and getting rid of stuff, but then to have this conversation about what it can be. So I hope you can join us if you can. If not, cut the Bradford pear down in your own yard or something. But thank you very much.
Thanks, Glenn. So if there are no further announcements, either in the room or on Zoom, we will now center ourselves with the music of our prelude and welcome the choir. Welcome to the Carbondale Unitarian Fellowship, located on the unceded traditional lands of the first people of present-day Southern Illinois, excuse me, the Miami, Osage, Kaskaskia, and Quapaw. The fellowship is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association, sharing the good news of Unitarian Universalism with folks throughout our region. Our good news is a message of love, freedom, reason, respect, and justice as the basis for religious community. I'm Ann Levin. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a member of the Reproductive Justice Group and also the Pastoral Friends. And this morning, I'm happy to be your Sunday service facilitator. We are a congregation of open minds and hearts, all ages, all colors, all genders, all abilities, all kinds of wealth, all kinds of love. Now I invite those who are online with us this morning to select gallery view so we can wave at each other, connecting our congregation over space. Hi, everybody. Okay. Currently, CUF is lay-led, with Sunday services team planning our services using the rich spirit and many talents of our congregation's members and friends. In addition to members, services may include guest speakers and ministers. Please join us on Sunday mornings or at our Wednesday evening Vespers service on Zoom as we await our new minister in August. For our chalice lighting today, I will share In the Midst of a World by Rebecca Ann Parker. In the midst of a world marked by tragedy and beauty, there must be those who bear witness against unnecessary destruction and those who, with faith, rise and lead in freedom with grace and power. There must be those who speak honestly and do not avoid seeing what must be seen of sorrow and of outrage, or tenderness and wonder. There must be those whose grief troubles the water while their voices sing and speak refreshed worlds. There must be those whose exuberance rises with lovely energy that articulates earth's joys. There must be those who are restless for respectful and loving companionship among human beings, whose presence invites people to be themselves without fear. There must be those who gather with the congregation of remembrance and compassion, draw water from old wells, and walk the simple path of love for neighbor. And there must be communities of people who seek to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with God, who call on the strength of soul force to heal, transform, and bless life. There must be religious witness. Simple task seems to be a little challenging right now. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay. All right, it's there. I promise it's getting better. Our chalice is lit, and now, with intention, Steve puts a pebble in our bowl of water, letting it ripple out beyond our knowing. All are invited to do the same here at the fellowship or at home to mark a joy, a sorrow, or any other feeling you have during the musical parts of the service. Okay, I'll work with that as we move forward. We now have our hymn. Please rise as you are willing and able to join us in singing Building a New Way. It's number 1017 in the teal hymnal, and the words will be on the screen, and Elena will accompany us on piano. So now is the time in our service that we share. Thank you all. In our fellowship, we share so many things: time, efforts, talents, spirit, and money. We share with this fellowship and for the needs of the fellowship, but we also share with the greater community beyond these walls. You may contribute to the fellowship or to our social action offering recipient for March, Green Earth. There is more information about Green Earth in your order of service. Checks should be made payable to CUF. You can also donate online via PayPal. The link is in the chat and in your order of service. Use the check memo area or the note area in the PayPal if you wish to specify a contribution to Green Earth. Also, remember that your spare change makes a difference. All the coins collected during the offering are sent to the UUA Annual Program Fund, which provides important resources to UU congregations, including CUF. We will read our unison offering reading. Yep, good. It's on the screen for you, or in your order of service. We pass the plate today in a community expression of thanks for the blessing of abundance, to visibly bring in the harvest at this most cherished hour of our week. Our offering says that the act of giving is essential to our spiritual well-being and the many possibilities of love that binds us and abounds. Your contributions in all forms are gratefully received. And the choir will present our offertory music.
Bring a little water. in a while. I will come a-running, bucket in my hand. I will bring a little water fast as I can. Bring a little water, Sylvie. Bring a little water now. Bring a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Bring a little water, Sylvie. Bring a little water now. Bring a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Every little once in a while. Every little once in a while.
Thank you, choir. Natasha Walker is our new Executive Director of the UU Advocacy Network of Illinois. Her background in HR and global operations at Google and Disney, her experience at Black Lives of UU, intersectional combined with her identity as a Black single mother with neurodiverse children, gives her a unique perspective on UU's social justice efforts. We welcome Natasha.
Friends, loved ones, seekers of a more beautiful world, welcome. It is a profound honor to stand before you today. I stand here as a fellow Unitarian Universalist and as the Executive Director of the UU Advocacy Network of Illinois. How many of us have experienced that deep, quiet pull? That internal vibration telling you that something is profoundly, deeply right or profoundly wrong. We Unitarian Universalists have a name for that. We call it conscience. It is the compass that we carry. Our tradition isn't built on mandatory dogma. It is built on the brave, moral imperative to live out the convictions of that inner voice. As I look at this community, nestled between the great rivers, surrounded by the ancient, leaning beauty of the Shawnee National Forest, I'm reminded that Southern Illinois is a place that understands the tension between the lushness of the land and the political heaviness of the air we breathe. And let's be real, the air right now is heavy. We are carrying collective grief and trauma and pain, and it makes sense. We come into the sanctuary carrying the weight of the world that feels increasingly volatile. We see the news alerts before our first cup of coffee. Families seeking safety met with wire at the border. The continued suspension of SNAP benefits, leaving cupboards bare in a state that prides itself on being the breadbasket of the world. Even here in Carbondale, we feel the shifting ground. We see the for lease signs on the strip. We feel the loss of third spaces where we used to gather. When the literal and figurative infrastructure of our lives begins to show cracks, the actual world feels so overwhelming that possibility feels like a luxury we can't afford. When the news cycle is a constant drumbeat of no to health care, no to housing, no to basic dignity, the temptation is to retreat. We hope that if we ignore the world might return the favor. But I'm here to suggest that embracing possibility is not a form of escapism. It is our spiritual work. It is the refusal to let the current state of affairs have the final word on what is possible. The wall we face is not just political, it is psychological. It is a wall built on the idea that things have always been this way, and therefore they must always be. But Unitarian Universalism is a faith of the otherwise. We believe that the world is still being created, and we are co-creators. My path to this role was not a straight line. I spent years in corporate boardrooms at Google and Disney, mastering strategy and efficiency. I know how to take complex, unsolvable problems and design elegant solutions. I know how to look at a mess and discern a map, but my resume only tells half of the story. I also come as a Black woman, a single mother, and an 80s latchkey kid, part of a generation that learned early how to navigate systems without a manual. There weren't many role models that matched my profile, so I got good at visualizing myself anywhere I wanted to be. Most pivotally, I was raised on the Navajo reservation, where poverty wasn't a concept, it was a neighbor. It was a tangible presence that dictated the rhythm of life. I understood early that if you are walking a path and you can't see a way out, eventually you just stop walking. My life has been defined by what I call the persistence of imagination. When you grow up with limited resources, you have to be able to imagine a world that doesn't exist just to get through the day. Embracing possibility, envisioning a world as it could be, is not a nice-to-have sentiment. It is a survival skill. I'm here to ensure that our intense UU moral passion is matched by fierce strategic competence. I'm tired of just resisting. Resistance is defensive. It is reacting to someone else's agenda. I want us to propose. I want us to win. We need to win for the neighbors whose rights are on the ballot. We need to win for the children watching our actions not quite measuring up to our words. We need to win for a planet gasping for breath. We need to win for our own collective liberation. This is where UUANI can come in. Carbondale obviously has social justice in its DNA. It was very clear from everything this morning. If your local work is the engine, UUANI can be the transmission. We shift our collective power into high gear. We are in Springfield, lobbying to bridge the gaps left by federal benefit cuts. We know that in Jackson County, the poverty rate hovers around 24%, well above the state average. We know that when SNAP benefits were slashed, it wasn't just a line item in the budget. It was an empty plate for a child in Murfreesboro or a senior in Makanda. We are working to ensure that property tax spikes, which we've seen hitting Southern Illinois particularly hard, don't displace our neighbors, our seniors, or our families. We connect the 34 Illinois UU congregations. When one congregation speaks, it's a solo. When 34 congregations speak, from the North Shore, right here to Carbondale, we speak together. It is a moral chorus that the state capitol cannot ignore. We transform your individual actions of the week into a spiritual infrastructure that builds a path towards a new possibility. We are saying that our faith is not just what we do on Sunday morning. It is how we show up in the halls of power on Tuesday afternoon. We are proving that an organized minority with a clear vision can move the needle for the majority. Friends, our commitment to justice is a spiritual discipline. And I'll be blunt, we cannot afford maybe later. We can't afford committees to talk about it. We can't continue to make plans on plans on plans. The forces of dehumanization are moving now. They are organized, they are funded, and they are counting on our despair. Despair is cozy. It doesn't require you to do anything because everything is ruined anyway. But despair is a luxury for those of us who don't have skin in the game. Action is the necessity. Embracing possibility means choosing to believe in a better Illinois, especially when the evidence is thin. Not knowing what to do is not a reason to do nothing. If you don't know where to start with the person next to you. UUANI is here to give you the what and the how so that your why has a place to land. The elders say we borrow the earth from our children. I believe that's true of justice too. Our justice work is the debt we owe to the future. Someone, somewhere, faced daunting odds and decided to imagine a world that included us. I think the generations of miners and farmers in this region who fought for labor rights and land dignity, they didn't have a guarantee of success. They had a persistence of imagination. They saw the otherwise. As we move into the heat of this legislative session, I promise to bring my whole self, my strategy, my creativity, my Navajo-raised persistence, and my 80s latchkey kid, let's get it done attitude. But I can't do it alone. My call to you is to bring your whole self as well. Bring your anger at the news. Use it as fuel. Bring your hope for the future. Use it as a compass. Bring your humor, because if we can't laugh at the absurdity, we'll never have the energy to fix it. We are meeting a moment that seeks to isolate us. It tells the mother that her struggle to find childcare is her own fault. It tells the worker that their low wages are a personal failure. But when we embrace possibility together, we center care. We move from the fragility of the individual to the resilience of the collective. We are actively and deliberately building something for our neighbors. We are weaving a tapestry of care across the state of Illinois. We are building a place where love wins and equity is the baseline. We are doing it with the same stubborn, beautiful, unreasonable hope that has sustained us throughout history. In the corporate world, they talk about disruptive innovation. In the spiritual world, we talk about revelation. But in the justice world, we call it possibility. It is the bridge between the two. It is the moment when we look at the wire at the border, the empty cupboards, and the property tax bills and say, this is not the end of the story. We are choosing to see the path, even when it is still being paved. We are choosing to act here in Carbondale, knowing that together we can move the powers in Springfield and across Illinois. May we be the ones who imagine. May we be the ones who organize. May we be the ones who win. May it be so. May we make it so. Amen and Ashe.
Thank you so much. So now our choir is going to give us the postlude.
Teach my
I would like to thank everyone who made this service possible, which includes everyone here and on Zoom. Thank you to Natasha Walker for her message and her visit today. Thanks to Steve Pittman for his generosity testimonial. Thanks to Elena for her accompaniment and for leading the choir. And thanks to the Cuff Choir for their music. Thanks to Corbin and Gilletta, but that's not Corbin and Gilletta. It's Max and Jill for their AV hosting. Thanks to Renee and Linda for greeting. And thanks to Ann Levin for facilitating. You're very welcome. We would like to take a quick moment before the benediction to ask people to please put hymnals back in the chair, on the chair when you're leaving, and also please take your coffee cups, papers, etc. with you. There's a bin for anything that can be recycled, as you probably know, but don't forget. Now please rise as you are willing and able, and hold hands or hold out your palms for our benediction. Only Begun, by William B. Sinkford. There is sorry, let's get connected here. All right. There is so much work to do. We have only begun to imagine justice and mercy. Help us hold fast to our vision of what can be. May we see the hope in our history and find the courage and the voice to work for that constant rebirth of freedom and justice. That is our dream. So be it. See to it. Amen. Blessed be. Go in peace with love for justice.